Hello there, Aquarius. Thank you so much for stopping by for your tarot video forecast for the month of April. This is just looking at one particular life cycle that you'll be going through in the month, so this is going to be a major theme for you. I do want to let you know that this is not going to be comprehensive. A look at the full month. It's a little different than what you'll see a lot of other readers do on here for a month. Let's see, what else do you need to know? This is a general reading, so not everything that I say here is going to apply to every single Aquarius. Lots of you people watching this, and so most of it will apply to most of you. Not all of it will apply to all of you, and some of you, it won't apply at all. You'll just be sitting in your chair at home calling me a bunch of baloney. That doesn't matter. For most of you, most of it will apply. For those of you who are calling me baloney, check out your rising sign and your moon sign. See if those resonate better. No big deal. Let's see, what else do you need to know? If you have questions and you would like to look at something more specifically, feel free to contact me and we can set up a private reading. That way we are looking at your energy. It's not the same as a general reading. We are looking at your energy specifically, and we can say this is what's going on in your life for sure. Well, I shouldn't say nothing's written in stone, because free will can change anything, but that does lead me to the next thing I want to talk about. Anything that you hear in here that you are not thrilled about, you do have free will, which means that if this resonates for you and you feel like it might be applying to you, you can make some different decisions or choose some different behaviors that can bring in a different situation for yourself. So just because you hear it here doesn't mean that you can't change it. Nothing I say is written in stone because of free will. Now, let's get into your reading. So Aquarius, the first thing that I'm looking at is your environment. And what I'm feeling is that there's something going on in your environment. And by the way, environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. Mostly I see it come in as home, but I have seen it show up as work or as school as well. So keep that in mind. But there is some kind of news, some kind of new message coming in about your environment that has you very inspired. So for some of you who have been looking for a better place to work or a better place to make your home, this could be that information that, oh, something's come available, that type of thing. There could also be information saying, you know, you've been wanting to remodel in your home, and maybe you get the information saying, you know, oh, my tax check came back and now I have the money to do that. But there's something, some kind of inspiring message that comes to you about your environment during this life cycle. Now, the next thing that I'm looking at is your subconscious leanings. And what I see for subconscious leanings is that you have a lot going on in your life right now, Aquarius. And so you're in your subconscious, you're just working on keeping it all balanced, keeping everything in place, not dropping the ball on everything, keeping it all going. All right, so learning style as you're going through this particular life cycle. Wow, we're getting so many people this month in April. Okay, life cycle. Intuitiveness. I feel like you are picking up things through your intuition as you're going through this life cycle and as you're learning. And there's a lot of, now that I'm looking at the rest of the spread, there are a couple other, possibly four other cards that could be kind of dreamy or illusion-y. Have this not a little bit beyond the idea of the tangible showing up here. So that would make sense when you've got this much stuff like that going on, that you're really learning things through your intuition when it pertains to this life cycle. And then the other thing that we have going on is your communication style. I feel like you guys have so much that you could talk about, and that it would be useful if you would share some of this information with key people in your life. Not with just anybody and everybody, but key people. And for whatever reason, I just feel like communication is kind of down the drain with you guys in this particular life cycle, which is so weird because you guys are intellectual, you like good conversation, but there are some key details, some key components that you're not sharing with other people who could really use that information. So that's something that you may want to be aware of, and you may want to, when you catch yourself doing that, for those of you that this applies to, you may want to ask yourself why, because that's just really, that's so against your grain, Aquarius. So that's what I have coming up for communication style during this particular life cycle. Next thing I'm looking at is work, and work can come in one of two ways for me. Work can be that way that you make a living. Work can also be those things that you do to improve your own personal self or your own character. So when I'm looking at work, what I'm seeing is that you have some big dreams about work. You would really like to see some things happen. The problem is you're not quite sure how to get from here to there, how to actually make it happen. So right now I see you kind of being on that precipice of, okay, this is as far as I can make this go. If I stand right here and count on the universe to make the rest come together for me, will it happen? Kind of that waiting game going on just to see, okay, what's going to happen as a result of the effort and the energy that I've put in here. And that can apply easily to actual working for a living or doing work on yourself either way. For some of you, it'll apply both ways. How do you know if it applies to you? If it resonates when you hear it, then you know that it is a very good chance that it's going to apply to you. All right, so the next card that I have tells me that the part of you that's being grown or expanded right now is you're actually feeling pretty good about your home life. You're feeling pretty secure. There's something that's going to the next level with home life or with security. So this could be getting a raise. Um, this could be adding on to your home. This could be buying a new home. This could be buying a new car that would add to your security. This could be really anything. It feels to me like it's tied into home life. So not only could this be like a home improvement or a pay raise, which would definitely improve home life or change home life, then there's also the idea of relationships and how they affect home life as well. So this could be taking a relationship to the next level as well for some of you. So I do feel like that's going to be manifesting in several different ways for you, Aquarius. But those are three prime examples of ways that they could manifest. Either taking a relationship to the next level, getting a raise or a promotion at a job, or adding on to or buying a home. Any one of those three would be the strongest things that I would expect to see coming through during this life cycle for you based on this card and based on the feeling that I'm pulling as I'm reading this card. Now, the next thing that we're looking at talks to me about those things that you stand up for. You Aquariuses can be very sentimental about your past. Just the fact that somebody has a past with you means something to you. And so, and if somebody has been a friend to you in the past, that's important to you. And so what I see you standing up for is I see you standing up for someone or something from the past. So this thing or this person from the past, I feel like other people may be giving you a hard time about letting that person come back into your life, or a hard time about looking back at the past and doing things the way you used to do them in the past, or whatever this is that ties in to the past. People are giving you a hard time about letting that have a place in your life. And you are standing up for yourself. You're just saying, you know what, this is my choice. Sorry, Charlie. Step off the curb, babe. All right, so next card that we have talks to me about how other people perceive you. You have a really cool card actually for how other people perceive you. Looks like people see you as being generally happy with the life or the lifestyle that you have made for yourself, whatever that might be. Pretty simple, cut and dry. So the next thing that we're looking at is the lesson or the experience as you're going through this life cycle. And what we have for that lesson or experience is doing some daydreaming. What an experience, huh? Not anything real heavy duty for sure. Just doing some daydreaming about how could life be better? What if my life was like this? What if my commute to work was shorter? What if this? What if that? What if the other? So just some real what ifing about how things could be better in your life. For some of you, this is actually coming in as like remodeling the kitchen. What if all the knobs on the cabinets had little pictures of roses on them? I don't know. What if all the cupboards were painted white? I don't know. I'm not up with the trends on remodeling. Obviously, you can see from my background here. But this could be, for some of you, I feel like this does have to do with remodeling in the home. And we've got that message about, something making you excited about your environment. So it doesn't have to be remodeling in the home. It could be at work, it could be at school. But this is what ifs. This is really daydreaming about changes that could be and what would life be like if those changes really were. All right, so as that daydreaming session gets integrated into your life, I just think it's cool that you guys have daydreaming as your listener experience. Just have to say, how much fun is that? So as as you integrate this into your life, I feel like you do begin to actually make some financial plans about making some of these what ifs into realities. It looks like you do some fact finding, you do some research, you're starting to find out, well, what would it actually take to make these things into realities? And it looks like, is this what I think it is? Ha 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 ha. I think that you decide that it's time to stop spending money frivolously or stop spending energy of any kind frivolously and start putting it aside for some of these what ifs, some of these daydreams that came up. So, making new money to make these daydreams come true, stop spending some of the old money you have, and doing research about how to make some of these daydreams come true. So very cool. It looks like you're getting very focused, especially on the financial part of it. So very cool for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much for stopping by to hear about one life cycle in your month of April. I do appreciate everybody coming by and hanging out, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. All of you have a wonderful month. I will see you back here the next time. Peace out.